Hi everybody, Friday morning fish. The water level after the rain midweek. Did a video on Sunday. Water was down 15-20 foot. Came in today, it's up to its neck, overflowing. Best thing about it, brings all the fish up. The best thing about today, I've had 14 fish hook onto me and I've landed, I believe, 9 or 10. I'll have to check back on the video. Anyway, let's crack on with it. Let's get out of this mud. It's everywhere. So, how did I catch so many fish? Simple. I changed my method. Bibio, 10 foot. Beaded spider, that was at about 14-15 foot. Intermediate line. Cast it out, let it sink to various depths, and then I did the retrieve. Wasn't 6-inch or 12-inch strips. It was a medium rollie pollie. 90% of the time I did a medium rollie pollie, kept that motion going. The rod tip was bouncing up and down a little bit. That added a bit more momentum to the fly and the fish just hit it. Some decent fish came out today. Some had, 2 or 3 2-pounders, easy. Lovely colours on them. And that's all I did for 3 hours between 10 and 12:30, and I was just hooking into them. This isn't a fishing video, this is a catching video. I'm still buzzing. It's the best day I have had here. Again, you are limited to where you can fish when the water is high, but fish the margins, fish one rod length out, because it's still 2.5 foot deep, straight off that edge where I am, and I'm casting as far down the banking as possible and bringing it back down that edge, and it wasn't long, fish on. Well, I did soon clock on that the roly-poly was working. Just a medium roly-poly. Now, I came out initially, light tackles, in a floating line and intermediate line. I didn't bring my side camera, I just had my head camera. I've edited the captures and release quite quickly, otherwise we'll be here all day. But it's just showing this method today worked brilliantly. In this particular area you can fish quite a lot on the banking, so I decided to fish further up towards the right. Got myself a nice fish. What I didn't realise, my net was all the way back down to where I was first fishing off to the left, so I had to gather my line up and make a hasty retreat. Net's right down here. A number of subscribers have asked me about this water, and a number have actually come and fished it. I had one individual the other week. He came out and I got a message back from him saying absolutely loved it, and he just stayed in one area. He just stayed down by the boathouse, because until you get to know the water you don't know what's fishable during high water, where everything is fishable at low water. But reading into his message that he sent me, he must have had 6 or 7 fish, so well done. And I think we actually have a new member. I catch loads of fish here. I catch more fish here than I do at Pennine. Am I overthinking it at Pennine? Whereas here I know what to fish, how to fish it, or how to slightly mix it up. But anyway, let's get this one over and done with, and let's get on to the next. It's going to be a long video. So again, move around the area, don't stick in one particular area. Lots of margins to fish. Move down to the Pixie's doors, where it's about 3 foot straight off the edge. Still on the same flies, so I cast it out at 2 or 3 rod lengths, took up the slack, let the line slowly sink, sorted myself out, putting things away so they don't catch. As soon as I retrieved, well, you hear my words anyway. Straight on. That one was a particularly good fish, a hard fighter. The next fish was even better, probably the biggest of the day. And again, we have lots of walkers that come round, and they timed it just right as I was bringing it in. The guy actually thought it was a roach at first, and he was asking me, well, you're not using a float. How do you know when it strikes? Or how do you know when they've taken your fly? You feel it, mate. And in this case, you see it as well. This fish was caught in the elusive area, an area where I know there is a big browner, bigger than this one. It usually hangs around off to the right, but because the water levels come up so high, I couldn't get further enough out without the water lapping over my waders. I did come away with some wet socks and some wet pants, but I weren't bothered. I was having a great day. It's good timing. Probably a £2 brown.
What is a trout? Is that it?
This is probably the 7th one this morning.
Is it by gum?
Oh, go back.
What the is that?
Get my phone in there before I lose it.
Last
Oh,
night. Yeah. Alright, brilliant. Honest specimen.
Yeah, I like that set. That's a very good one. So back in the same area, cast it out only 2 or 3 rod lengths, let it sink a bit deeper, brought it in, and the previous fish, I got his younger brother, but still, it's a fish, and the total's going up. Get out. So back up to the bench. I caught a blue trout once here, which was slightly deformed. This one was very deformed. It was like Quasimodo. It had a right massive hump. Anyway, I'll let you look at it. Come over here. Really strange fish. Now the previous fish I was using a 6 and 12-inch strips, just stripping it, but back down the left hand margin, back onto the rollie pollie. It was working. If it works, why fix it? For a change, this fish took the bibio, which was at 10 foot. Well, currently it's midnight as I'm editing this video. I'm due at Pennine tomorrow morning. Gonna fish some CDCs, gonna fish some popper hoppers, and I'm taking some beaded spiders with me. I wasn't going to do, but I thought if they fish here this well, Pennine, if I concentrate a little bit, do a small roly-poly, should be devastating. £5 to a penny it isn't. How you managed to get that all the way in there? Bibio. As I say, I've started fishing this water just after 10 o'clock. I'd finished at 10, got round here within about 5-10 minutes. But it started to die off about 12:30. After 12:30, up to about 1 o'clock, 1:15, I think I only got one fish. And then in the last 15 minutes, when I went onto the floating line, which is the last one, I got another nice fish. Bibio. Well, this one's a bit of a sad one because I felt it take the line and then it got off and then it hooked again. But I think what it was, it went for the bibio, shook it off, but only 4 foot behind that bibio was the beaded spider, and that's what got the fish. Sadly, it got it in its side, but it was safely released and went on its merry way. I mean, rainbow this. When I hooked into this fish at first, before I realised it was foul hooked, I thought this is a good one because it was taking line. I got the line on the reel because I didn't want it to break off, but sadly it was foul hooked. But it was a decent sized fish anyway. Fish were becoming few and far between, so I decided, well, let's try a floating line. Floating line, 14-15 foot leader, single beaded spider on the end, cast it out, let it sink down, and then brought it back roly-poly. Wasn't disappointed, got another nice fish on the end. So this was the last fish of this epic day, and it was a case of fish after fish. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to a fishing video, but this ended up being a catching video, which it's all about. So in summary, 2 flies, bibio 10 foot, beaded spider on the point at about 14-15 foot, helps the leader land straight, and a medium roly-poly. Will it work the next time I go out or when the water level drops? I don't know, but I thoroughly enjoyed today, loved it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Just remember, this is me and my days out, and this is one day I will remember. So until next time, look after yourselves and I'll catch you later.